Well, all of the parts that I need for this finally came in. The controller board for charging the battery, and something I ordered just on a whim about a week ago. This little tachometer. The way it works is you just wrap this wire several times around the spark plug wire, and then tell this thing how many times per revolution it produces spark, and it gives you the RPM, and it can be an hour meter. I don't really care much about the hour meter because this motor has who knows how many hours on it. More interested in the RPMs. So what we're going to do is start off is I'm going to be wiring. Well, first we're going to mount this, and then we're going to wire the circuit breaker, the switch, this, the charge indicator, or charge controller, and then the loads, which just reminded me I forgot something. Oh, and 2 days ago we had a really wild storm blow through here, and it dumped I don't know, at least 4 inches of rain in like half an hour, if not more. I'm gonna put the video in here. I was surprised that my shed did not leak, or if it did, it doesn't appear to be obvious. I had to re-roof part of it about a year or two ago. Anyways, so I'm going to start mounting this. And just to see, I got standoffs. Excellent. They fit just fine. So the easiest way to do this is we're just going to turn this over. Mark it from this side. .964. Oh, one of the things I have to do is I need to make these holes bigger. They're just a tiny bit too small, probably drilled for metric. These are 632 screws, and I want them to go through the plastic, through the, and into the standoff, but I don't want them to go too far. That looks about right. Alright, I'm gonna do the rest of these off camera. Alright, we'll come back to it. Well, that took a while. This thing doesn't cut all the screws perfectly. So this is mounted now, the charge controller. So the next thing that's going to happen is we're going to be going to wire from 87A on this one to the DC buck, and then from the DC buck output to the charge controller, and also there's going to be a line coming off that goes to the load. Oh boy. Alright, so 87A is the middle pin in here. So we're going to go out from here to the fuse, from the fuse to the switch, out from the switch to here. See you on the outside. Oh man, okay, so I don't even know how long it's been. I've been working on this non-stop for about an hour or two. So here's what we got. Everything is wired. And I've already tested it. At least I've tested it connected to battery and to so I can't press the start button or starter button because I don't want to feed power back into my transformer, but it's hard to see in there. Let's zoom out here. This input is putting in about 15 volts. Yeah, 15 volts. Right now it's charging the battery. So it's drawing about 1 amp to charge the battery. Making sure that something wasn't getting hot. I had to install a 10 amp diode in there because the power coming out of the buck converter and going into this thing was taking battery, and when the relay for charging the battery engaged, it was putting voltage back into the buck converter and powering the buck converter, which I think is a bad thing, and I'm surprised they don't have something to prevent that. So I had to put a diode in here. So currently it's hooked up to a battery and the power supply. It's now set up that if you turn this off, you turn off the buck converter, but it does not turn off this. This is powered by the battery and not input voltage, which is, I don't like that. You would think if it was a charge controller, you would want to power it from the charger, not the battery, because that would run the battery down. So what I'm going to do, oh, and I got the fan working, and I've got the other vent hole over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to button this all up and move it outside in the, or I may just run it in here. I don't know, it's pretty damn humid outside. Anyways, I'm going to get that all set up and come back. Well, that royally sucked. Apparently I thought I was recording earlier and I wasn't, so I have to do this all again. So make sure we're recording. Zoom in again. This time I don't have the voltmeter with me, but that's alright. So, here we go. Let's start this again. Alright, so like I said, it works. Just wish I'd got it the first time it happened. Anyways,